Have you ever wondered why some people work from dawn until dusk year after year while barely managing to pay their bills, while others seem to unlock a hidden stream of abundance that flows effortlessly into their lives? Most people believe that wealth is a matter of luck or inherited privilege or ruthless competition. But I am here to tell you today that the ancient sages of the Torah understood something completely different. They knew that wealth is not an accident of fate. It is a divine system, a precise step-by-step plan designed by the Creator to sustain our families, support our communities, and elevate our spiritual standing in this world. For generations, this profound financial blueprint has remained hidden beneath the surface of ancient texts, misunderstood or ignored by those who assume spiritual devotion requires financial struggle. But nothing could be further from the truth. I am Rabbi David, and for decades I have dedicated my life to studying the deep economic wisdom embedded within the Torah, the Talmud, and the teachings of our greatest masters. When I first began my journey into these sacred texts, I held the same common misconception that many of you might hold right now. I thought that piety meant poverty, that holiness meant hardship, and that if I wanted to serve God, I had to accept a life of financial limitation. But as I opened the commentaries of the great sages, from Maimonides to the brilliant masters of Kabbalah, a staggering realization emerged. The Torah is not just a book of moral laws or historical narratives. It is the ultimate manual for living successfully in the physical world, and that includes mastering the flow of material resources. The sages taught us that financial stability is a foundation for spiritual growth, because a person struggling to put bread on the table cannot easily focus on higher spiritual truths. Now, before we dive deeper into the mechanics of this divine wealth system, I want to share something very special with you. And for those who are truly serious about accelerating their journey, for a limited time, I am opening the doors to the Torah Millionaire Business School for just $299. This is where I unveil the complete Torah wealth system, the full architecture of ancient wisdom applied to modern financial transformation. You can find the link in the comments below this video, in the description, and if you are watching on my YouTube channel, you will also see a QR code on the banner of my channel page. Just open your phone camera, point it at the QR code, and it will take you directly to the school. The doors are closing soon, so do not wait. Let us examine the very first principle of the Torah wealth system, which begins with how we view money itself. In modern society, people often view money as dirty or as the root of all evil, misinterpreting a famous phrase. But the Torah teaches that money is neutral. It is an instrument, a physical manifestation of divine energy that can be directed toward holiness or destruction. When you hold a dollar bill or look at your bank account, what is your emotional state? Do you feel anxiety, scarcity, fear, and resentment, or do you feel gratitude, responsibility, and excitement for the good you can accomplish? The ancient masters taught that blessing only rests upon that which is valued and respected. If you despise money, money will naturally flee from you. It seeks a home where it is honored, protected, and utilized for noble purposes. Shifting your mindset from scarcity to sacred stewardship is the foundational step of the entire process. The second step in our step-by-step plan involves creating what the Talmud calls a proper vessel. Think of divine abundance like water pouring from a magnificent fountain. If you hold out a thimble, you will only catch a thimble full of water, no matter how abundant the fountain is. If you bring a massive bucket, you will catch a bucket full. Most people pray for wealth, but they have not expanded their capacity, their knowledge, or their emotional readiness to manage wealth. Building a vessel means educating yourself, mastering your habits, learning how to manage cash flow, understanding investments, and developing the emotional resilience to handle success without letting it corrupt your character. The Torah commands us to be partners in creation. God provides the potential, but we must build the vessel. When you commit to personal growth and financial literacy, you are widening your vessel, and the universe responds by rushing to fill that newly created space. Another vital principle, deeply embedded in Jewish tradition, is the concept of working with absolute integrity and honoring your commitments. The Talmud tells us that when a person reaches the heavenly gates for final judgment, the very first question they are asked is not whether they studied enough or prayed enough, but rather whether they conducted their business dealings with faithfulness and honesty. In the marketplace, your reputation is your highest spiritual asset. People often think that cutting corners or deceiving others will bring financial gain, but the Torah teaches the exact opposite. Dishonest gains carry a destructive spiritual weight that eventually corrodes the entire enterprise. When you deal with absolute transparency, when your word is your bond, and when you treat your customers and partners with genuine respect, you build a foundation of trust that attracts long-term, sustainable prosperity. Trust is the currency of the divine flow. Let us also look at the profound wisdom surrounding the circulation of wealth. In many cultures, wealth is hoarded, hidden away in vaults, or protected out of fear that there is not enough to go around. But the Torah operates on a completely different paradigm, the paradigm of circulation and divine flow. Consider the physical body. If blood stops circulating even for a moment, the body suffers and dies. Wealth is exactly the same. It is meant to flow through your hands, blessing your family, supporting your employees, fueling businesses, and helping those in need. When you give charity, known as tzedakah, you are not merely doing a good deed for someone else. You are participating in a cosmic mechanism of circulation. The sages famously noted that tzedakah is the salt of wealth, meaning it preserves it and causes it to multiply. When you understand that giving is actually receiving, fear dissolves and abundance begins to circulate freely through your life. Now, let us turn our attention to the power of speech and intention. In the beginning, God created the entire universe through speech. He spoke and reality formed. The Torah teaches that human beings possess a tiny spark of this creative power within our own words. What you say about your financial situation matters immensely. If you constantly walk around complaining that you are broke, that things are impossible, and that the world is unfair, you are literally decreeing limitation over your life through the power of your own speech. The sages advised us to guard our tongues fiercely. Instead of speaking words of defeat, train yourself to speak words of gratitude, expectation, and blessing. Even when times are tight, acknowledge what you have and affirm that relief and abundance are on the way. Changing your internal and external dialogue shifts your subconscious mind and aligns your energy with the infinite possibilities of creation. We must also discuss the role of patience and persistence, which the Torah refers to as emunah and bitachon. Emunah is faith, and bitachon is trust in divine timing. In our microwave society, people want to plant a seed today and harvest a mansion tomorrow. When that does not happen, they panic, abandon their strategy, and jump to the next get-rich-quick scheme. But real wealth, lasting wealth, grows like a mighty oak tree. It takes deep roots before it produces towering branches. The sages taught us that patience in business is a supreme virtue. Every setback, every failed deal, and every closed door is not a sign of failure, but a divine lesson guiding you toward the right path. When you maintain trust through the difficult seasons, you develop the inner strength required to manage true abundance when it finally arrives. Let us explore how the Torah views partnerships and community. No person is an island, and no one builds lasting wealth entirely on their own. The Talmud records the famous teaching that a person should always acquire a true friend and business partner. Working collaboratively, sharing insights, holding each other accountable, and pooling resources creates an exponential growth effect. Furthermore, your business should always serve a higher communal purpose. When your enterprise solves real problems for real people, when it creates jobs, provides dignity, and uplifts your neighbors, your work becomes holy labor. The greatest entrepreneurs in history, whether consciously or unconsciously, aligned their business models with human upliftment. When you serve humanity with excellence, wealth follows as a natural byproduct of your contribution. Another powerful concept found in our ancient commentaries is the idea of recognizing the hidden blessings in every single moment, even financial challenges. When business slows down or an investment goes sideways, our initial human reaction is frustration and anxiety. Yet the mystical teachings of the Torah explain that behind every hardship lies a hidden expansion. Just as a seed must be buried in the dark, cold earth before it can sprout into a magnificent tree, so too must we sometimes experience periods of contraction before a breakthrough occurs. By maintaining your composure, reviewing your strategies, and seeking divine guidance, you transform obstacles into stepping stones. This mental shift from victim of circumstance to active co-creator changes everything. Let us examine the daily habits recommended by the sages to maintain financial clarity and focus. The ancient masters were notoriously disciplined. They woke early, planned their days meticulously, respected their time, and avoided idle gossip or wasteful distractions. Time is the only resource that cannot be replenished once it is spent. How you allocate your hours reflects what you truly value. If you spend hours consuming mindless entertainment while ignoring your personal growth and financial education, you are actively working against your own success. Implementing a routine of daily study, silent reflection, and strategic planning creates a protective boundary around your energy and keeps you firmly on the path of abundance. Consider also the profound wisdom of honoring your family and creating peace within your household, known as Shalom Bayit. The sages taught that financial blessing does not rest in a home filled with strife, anger, and division. Money is attracted to harmony. When a husband and wife or family members work together as a unified team with shared financial goals and mutual respect, a powerful protective shield of blessing surrounds their endeavors. Conversely, secret financial deceit, constant fighting over expenses, and lack of communication create energetic leaks that drain resources away. Cultivating peace and mutual understanding at home is one of the most powerful wealth accelerators you will ever discover. Let us delve deeper into the concept of working with joy. In many spiritual traditions, joy is separated from the mundane struggles of earning a living. But in the Torah, joy is a mandatory requirement for receiving divine blessing. The book of Deuteronomy warns us of the consequences of not serving the Lord with joy and gladness of heart. This applies directly to our daily work and business pursuits. If you drag yourself to your job or enterprise every single day with bitterness, resentment, and a heavy spirit, you are blocking the flow of abundance. Even if your current situation is difficult, finding micro moments of appreciation, taking pride in the quality of your work, and infusing your daily tasks with a positive spirit transforms your energetic signature and invites greater opportunities. Furthermore, we must address the delicate balance between effort and faith, known as hishtadlut. Some people rely entirely on prayer while refusing to take practical action, expecting manna to drop from the sky. Others rely entirely on their own physical strength and cleverness, forgetting that all success comes from above. The Torah teaches a harmonious synthesis of both. You must put in the absolute highest level of practical effort, doing your due diligence, mastering your craft, and executing your business strategies with precision. At the same time, you must maintain the deep inner awareness that your efforts are merely the wooden vessel, while the actual blessing of success comes from the Creator. When you combine rigorous practical diligence with profound spiritual surrender, you become unstoppable. Let us look at the wisdom of mentorship. Throughout Jewish history, knowledge, wisdom, and trade secrets were transmitted directly from master to disciple through close personal contact. The sages taught that every person needs a mentor, someone who has walked the path before them, made the mistakes, and can guide them safely through the treacherous waters of business and life. Trying to figure everything out entirely on your own is a recipe for endless frustration and costly errors. Investing in yourself through mentorship, coaching, and joining high-level educational communities is not an expense, it is the highest return investment you can probably make. It compresses decades into days. Let us examine how the Torah addresses the danger of greed and materialism. While the Torah fully encourages wealth creation, business success, and enjoying the fruits of one's labor, it firmly condemns the worship of money for its own sake. When money becomes your master rather than your servant, it corrupts your soul, damages your relationships, and ultimately leads to emptiness. True wealth, according to the sages, is not measured by how much you accumulate in a bank account, but by who you become in the process of generating it and how much good you are able to do with it. Keeping your priorities balanced ensures that as your financial stature rises, your character rises right along with it. Now, let us examine the concept of resilience in the face of economic uncertainty. Inflation, market crashes, political instability, and job losses are constant features of the modern world. People panic when they watch the news headlines, but the Torah teaches us to anchor ourselves in eternal truths rather than temporary economic fluctuations. The ancient Israelites in the desert relied on manna that fell fresh every single morning. They learned that their security did not come from stockpiling hoarded reserves of grain, but from their direct connection to the infinite source of supply. When you cultivate this inner security, external economic storms lose their power to paralyze you. You adapt, you innovate, and you find new ways to provide value. Let us also explore the importance of clarity in planning and budgeting. The sages were meticulous record keepers. They understood that you cannot manage what you do not measure. Ignorance of your financial inflows, outflows, debts, and profit margins is a form of self-sabotage. The Torah repeatedly commands us to measure, weigh, and account for our actions. Taking control of your finances down to the last detail is an act of self-respect and spiritual discipline. When you know exactly where you stand financially, fear vanishes and intelligent, strategic decision-making takes its place. Consider the power of intention and blessing before undertaking any major financial transaction. Whether you are signing a contract, launching a new product, or making an investment, pausing for a moment of quiet reflection or prayer aligns your actions with a higher purpose. Ask yourself whether this endeavor will bring light, value, and goodness into the world. When your business activities are aligned with ethical integrity and the upliftment of others, you unlock a supernatural level of favor that no competitor can replicate. This is the secret edge that Torah-observant entrepreneurs have utilized for thousands of years. Let us reflect on the idea of legacy. True wealth is never designed to stop with you. The Torah places immense emphasis on educating the next generation, passing down not just material assets, but financial wisdom, ethical values, and a strong work ethic. When you build wealth with a multi-generational perspective, your decisions change. You stop chasing quick, speculative thrills and start building enduring institutions, sustainable businesses, and solid family foundations that will stand strong for decades and centuries to come. You become a pillar of stability for your entire lineage. Let us review the fundamental pillars we have covered so far in our journey through this ancient wisdom. First, recognizing that money is a neutral instrument of divine energy. Second, building a proper vessel through education and personal growth. Third, conducting all business with absolute integrity and honesty. Fourth, embracing the principle of circulation through charity and generosity. Fifth, guarding your speech and aligning your words with abundance. Sixth, exercising patience, faith, and trust in divine timing. Seventh, building collaborative partnerships and serving your community. Eighth, finding hidden blessings and growth within challenges. Ninth, maintaining daily discipline and respecting the value of time. 10th, fostering peace and harmony in your household. 11th, working with joy and gladness of spirit. 12th, balancing practical effort with spiritual surrender. 13th, investing in mentorship and continuous learning. 14th, guarding against the trap of greed while celebrating legitimate success. 15th, anchoring yourself in eternal principles rather than economic fear. 16th, practicing meticulous financial clarity and record-keeping. 17th, infusing every transaction with noble intention and ethical purpose. 18th, building a multi-generational legacy of wisdom and prosperity. These 18 principles form the complete architecture of the Torah wealth system. They are not theoretical concepts or empty philosophies. They are tested, proven laws of reality that have sustained our people through every trial and tribulation in human history. When you integrate these principles into your daily life, your business, and your mindset, a profound transformation takes place. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstance and start operating as a conscious co-creator of abundance. The doors of opportunity begin to open where walls once stood. Resources flow toward you, not because of struggle and exhaustion, but because you have aligned yourself with the natural laws of divine flow. And remember, if you are ready to take this transformation to the highest possible level, the Torah Millionaire Business School is waiting for you. For a limited time, you can access the complete Torah wealth system for just $299. This is the exact blueprint I have used to help thousands of people achieve massive financial and spiritual success. The doors are closing soon. Click the link in the comments, find it in the description, or scan the QR code on my channel banner right now. As we conclude our time together today, I want to leave you with a final thought of encouragement. No matter where you are starting from, no matter how heavy your current financial burdens feel, and no matter how many times you may have stumbled in the past, your story is far from over. Within you lies an infinite divine spark capable of creating immense good, prosperity, and light in this world. Step forward with courage, apply these timeless principles with dedication, and watch as the blessings unfold in ways you never thought possible. May you and your families be blessed with boundless success, profound peace, and enduring light. Shalom.